Take a look around, homegirl. Season 1, Episode 3, Squeeze. It's got that classic spooky X-Files plot, really good character monster in Tooms, solid Mulder and Scully classic interaction. Such a good episode! And I really love the intro. It starts out with a guy walking down the street and he's getting eyed up by a creeper in a storm drain with green eyes. Tooms. We follow the guy and he walks into his office completely unaware. The way that this is shot is like very spooky and scary. We're wondering like what's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden the screws from the air vent come undone. Gutter guy is in there! Walks into his office and then he got blood everywhere and the bad guy leaves back through the vent. Why is Tooms able to do this? How is he sneaking into storm drains and air vents and screwing screws and doing the do with the blood and all that? And Scully's at some restaurant with this guy. They clearly know each other from the academy. They're like familiar and kind of flirty. Who are you? Who is this man, Dana? He's like talking shit about the X-Files, and at least like Scully totally defends Mulder and is like, he's a great agent. And he basically wants her help solving this serial murder case. The killer is murdering victims with no break-in point of entry, note the screws from the air vent, and ripping out their livers. He pretty much wants her help so that they can like climb the ladder and she can like get out of the X-Files so she doesn't have to be Mrs. Spooky anymore.
Maybe you won't have to be Mrs. Spooky anymore.
Mrs. Spooky? How about alien baby mama? So Scully brings the case to Mulder and he's like, why didn't they ask me? And she's like, because they're my friends and you're crazy. And then he says a great line.
Do you think I'm spooky?
Like, why does it sound so seductive? What does spooky mean to you, Mulder? You a little spooky? Mulder's a freak! So then Mulder and Scully are on the case and Mulder finds a really long fingerprint on the air vent. He goes back into old X-Files cases. He finds all of these long fingerprints and liver removal for like cases spanning back to 100 years. Mulder and Scully are looking over the light box together and they both look like so attractive. I just love this shot. It's such a good shot. Hot little spooky babes. There's another shot where Scully is crossing her arms and looking down at Mulder while he talks, and it is 100. And pretty much Mulder wants to take over the investigation. He's like, we got all of these X-Files, it's our case first, like, let's take over. And she's like, slow your roll, Mulder.
They don't want to hear your theories. That's why Blevins has you hidden away down here.
You're down here too.
Scully's face after he says, you're here too. Oh damn, Dana, you want to shit on the basement? Look where you is. So Scully goes to the parking garage to try and like catch this guy again. And then Mulder totally ruins her stakeout. They like bump into each other. Oh, so cute. There's like, bitch, why are you here? He's not gonna come back. But then they hear something in the air vents and bam, you were wrong. This dude crawls out of the vents and it's totally the bad guy, but his eyes aren't green this time. And he gets arrested. Mulder's like so shocked that she was right.
You were right.
You were right. No shit, she was right. Someone tell this man. Then Tooms takes a lie detector test. He passes and Scully's hair is like pulled up. It looks so good. There's also this really intense look between Mulder and Scully in this episode. All I have to say about that is eye sex. Really, really intense eye sex. Basically everybody wants to let Tooms go because he passed the test, but Mulder and Scully are like, no bitch, we know it's him. Colton and Scully kind of get into a fight. She's like, I work for the X-Files now. He's like, I'll see what I can do about that. Oh really? What are you gonna do about it, Colton? Shut up. Then he calls Mulder crazy right in front of him. That's a bold move. And if he was really crazy, you have no idea what he could do. He could snap. Then we have one of the best scenes of maybe in X-Files history. It's such a good scene. So Mulder and Scully are talking about what just went down.
Sometimes the need to mess with their heads outweighs the millstone of humiliation.
It seems like you were acting very territorial. I don't know, forget it.
Of course I was. In our investigations, you may not always agree with me, but at least you respect the journey.
First of all, personal space is dead. Second of all, it's like they're talking about territorial in relation to the case, but really it's in relation to Scully, honestly. Like he's touching up on her necklace. He admits that of course he was acting territorial. Like, I know they think they're talking about the case, but they're not.
It seems like you were acting very territorial. I don't know, forget it.
Of course I was. In our investigations, you may not always agree with me, but at least you respect the journey.
At least you respect the journey? Oh my god. Scully totally respects the journey. This is the 3rd episode. They have not been working together that long. Mulder can already tell that even though Scully is super skeptical and like always giving him shit, pushing him to question and challenge himself, at least she respects the journey. That's why they're so good together. Then Mulder tells her that if she wants to continue working the case with Colton, he won't mind, he won't take it personally. And she says she doesn't want to. She wants to stay working with Mulder. They exchange flirty looks. They exchange flirty looks. My heart's all aflutter. Like, I honestly don't know why they thought that they were talking about the case during any of that, because it basically just sounds like they want to date. If you watched that scene entirely with the sound off and read their body language, there is a lot going on over there. Also, just in case I didn't say it, Scully's hair in this whole scene with the twist is just a work of art, might be an understatement. Then they're looking at fingerprints and they're sitting really close together. Mulder decides to stretch out one of the old fingerprints from the X-Files and match it up next to the long fingerprint that they found in the crime scene, and it matches Eugene Tooms. Scully is about to lose her mind. She can't. That stretched out fingerprint fucks her up. So then we see Tooms and he's stalking a new guy to kill and he squeezes himself into a chimney and it's crazy. Like, some of the special effects in the early episodes of the X-Files are like really solid, and this is one of them. Then Colton's losing his shit that he can't figure out how to catch this guy, and Mulder strolls up onto the crime scene and is like, "You want me to solve all your cases for you?" Cocky Mulder is hilarious. So then Colton's all pissy, they have a standoff. Mulder rolls up on in there anyway and finds another stretched out fingerprint, and he knows that it's Tooms. Then Mulder finds a record where it dates like Eugene Tooms back in like 1903. Like, they got evidence that this guy has been around for way too long. So they figure out that he's killing like every so many years, and if they don't catch him this go around, it's gonna be like 2023 until they have the opportunity to catch him again. And Mulder says that Scully's gonna be the head of the bureau by then.
2023.
And you're gonna be head of the bureau by then.
Well, that's just really cute. He thinks so highly of her. She's like, again, they've not been working together for very long. Puts her up there on a pedestal. Also, if they only knew what they'd be doing by 2023, they're gonna have a 5-year-old, and think about that. They go to Tooms' apartment and they check it out. There's a huge hole in the wall, so they climb into it. There's some very iconic flashlight work that happens. Then another very iconic scene where Mulder and Scully find this like goopy, mucus, gross stuff. Mulder touches it. It's gross as fuck.
It smells like... I think it's bile.
Is there any way I can get off my fingers quickly without betraying my cool exterior?
Mulder thinks that this is where Tooms hibernates, and Scully is so not about that theory. Then as they're leaving, Scully gets snagged on something, and it's Tooms, and he has her necklace! Scully's signature gold cross necklace. Tooms, how dare you? Colton storms in on Dana and tells her that he's taking away all her resources so that she can't investigate that case anymore. They have a huge fight. She's like, "I hope you fall off that ladder, you son of a bitch." So naturally, poor Dana Scully just wants to go home and have a nice bath. But Tooms is watching her. He's gonna get her real good. She's like filling up the tub and he's outside her fucking window. It's very anxiety inducing. I'm up here right now. Meanwhile, Mulder goes back to Tooms' weird hibernation hole or something, discovers Scully's necklace. He knows. Then bile drips on Scully's hand and she's like, "Oh, fuck." Runs for a gun, but then Tooms is after her and he gets her by the ankle. So we're clear, I'm freaking out. He like crawls on top of her and is like holding her down and she's trying to fight him off, and I'm just like, my poor baby, she doesn't deserve this. Then Mulder breaks in and Tooms tries to like get away, and Scully goes back after him because she's a bad bitch. Like handcuffs him to the tub and Mulder's got his gun on him. Save the day. Then Tooms is in jail and Scully walks up to him. She like puts her hand on his arm. Really hot. That is a lover's caress. Then they walk away, all satisfied that at least they put him in jail. And then someone comes to deliver Tooms' food. He eyes up the little food hatch thing. He knows that he can get out, and then it just cuts to black. Oh god, it's super creepy. Nah. This is a really scary episode of the X-Files. It achieves that super creepy vibe at so many points during the episode. Tooms is such a creepy, good villain. I'm always surprised by how many iconic scenes are from this episode. So much good Mulder and Scully back and forth. Just feels like a really whole and complete episode of the X-Files. Definitely an episode that reminds us of why it's good. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry for the delay. I've been drastically ill lately. Hopefully these will be coming out more regularly now that I'm better. Go catch up on other videos or subscribe. Catch you next week.